We are group 28 and we will present to you about prosthetic heart valve. Prosthetic heart valve can be categorized into two types, which is mechanical and biological. For mechanical, it includes A. Bileaflet, B. Single tilting disc, and C. Cage valve. And for biological, there is stented and stented and percutaneous. For stented, there is B. Porcine xenograph, and E. Pericardial xenograph. And for biological, there is G. Expanded oval balloon, and H. Self-expandable. For stented part, it includes porcine xenograph, which is F, and homograph. The differences between mechanical and biological heart valve include mechanical heart valves are artificial hearts that are made of materials such as plastic, carbon or metal, while biological are valves made of animal tissue or taken from human tissue of donated heart. Differences in mechanical heart valve include first, star-Edward cage valve that consists of a cyclic ball with a circular sealing ring and a cage formed by four metal arcs. For metronic Hall tilting disc valve, it is monoleaflet valves that are composed of a single disc secured by inlet or central outlet strut. The opening angle of the disc relative to valve annulus range from 60 degrees to 80 degrees, resulting in two distinct types for blood to flow. And lastly, for St. Jude's medical bileaflet valve, it is made of two semi-lunar discs attached to a rigid valve ring by a small hinge. When the leaflets are opened, blood flows parallel to it and reduces damaging the blood cell. The opening angles range from 75 to 90. Okay, next is the difference in bioprosthetic heart valve. The first one is porcine stented heart valve. As you guys can see here, the function of this stented is to provide support during implantation. It also consists of PTFE, which is polytetrafluoroethylene, which is it helps to facilitate the growth and healing of tissue around the implant. The second one is porcine stemless heart valve. For this kind of heart valve, it does not use any stent, so it will be more difficult to implant as the function of stent is to provide support, as I mentioned before. The third one is homograph valve. For this kind of graph, it has the advantage of near native hemodynamic performance. Hemodynamic are actually terms that used to describe the blood flow through the heart valve. Next is the criteria to use a mechanical heart valve. The first one is the patient itself wants a mechanical valve and he or she has no contraindication for anticoagulation in long-term use. If the patient is already on anticoagulation, mechanical prosthesis has high risk for thromboembolism. The next criteria is patient is at risk of accelerated bioprosthetic structural dissociation, for example, young age, pregnant women, and hyperparathyroidism. And the last one is the patient age is less than 65 years old. Next is the criteria to use the bioprosthetic heart valve. The first one is the informed patient wants a bioprosthesis. The second one is unavailability of good quality anticoagulant, or he or she is contraindicated in using anticoagulant. The third criteria is the patient is more than 65 years old and he or she has limited life expectancy. And the last one is the patient is a woman of childbearing age. It is because the bioprosthetic valve degenerates more rapidly in pregnant and pregnant women. Lastly, I will tell you the pro and cons when using mechanical heart valve and biological heart valve. For mechanical heart valve, the advantage of using this valve, it will last the patient lifetime and eliminate the mortality risk inherent in the replacement of a worn-out tissue valve. Meanwhile, the disadvantage is he or she will require a long-term anticoagulant therapy, so it will tend to get into high risk of bleeding. Besides that, mechanical valve can sometimes be audible when opening and closing. Next is the biological heart valve. When using this kind of valve, the advantage is lower requirement for anticoagulant therapy, which reduces the incidence of bleeding. However, disadvantage when using this kind of valve is the lifetime of a tissue valve often varies and short in children and during pregnancy. Next, stented tissue valves do not perform as well as the native valve in terms of blood flow with relatively high pressure gradient. And the last one is the stainless tissue valves improve blood flow. However, they are more difficult to put in place and are not usable in all cases. Okay, this is all from our group. As you guys can see here, this is the list of references that you guys can refer if you want to find out more information about the prosthetic hyper. That's all. Thank you.